day, but some disappointment in the end. So tell us about it.
Thank you, first of all. And yeah, obviously disappointed not to finish the race because obviously every race you compete, you want to be at the checkered flag. But yeah, today was not possible. Anyway, it was a great experience the last 2 weeks. I came here basically to prove myself or to challenge myself. You know, I know that I can be as quick as anyone in a F1 car. I didn't know if I can be as quick as anyone in a Indy car, and it was nice to have this competitive feeling, and even leading the Indy 500. You know, for any racing driver, one lap you put on the lead there. You know, it was already a nice feeling. So I was passing and watching the tower. I saw the 29 on top of it, and I was thinking at that moment if Zach or someone from the team was taking a picture of that tower, because I want that picture at home. So, you know, amazing experience. Thanks to IndyCar, thanks to Indianapolis, thanks to the fans that I felt at home. I'm not American, but I felt really proud to race here. And yeah, congratulations to Sato-san, to Andretti. We've been sharing the last 2 weeks, all the meetings in the morning, the meetings in the afternoon, and Takuma was a big help coming from F1 also, a lot of advices to me. So in the last 2 laps, I was, you know, on my knees, you know, really pushing Sato, you know, so extremely happy for the final result.
For the folks here, tell us who joins us on the podium and how the role on the team with you.
He's my physiotherapist, Zach Brown, and he came with me around the world. And thanks to Zach as well, to all McLaren to make this possible, to make this happen. I think McLaren as a company, you know, the success in IndyCar in the past, the success in Formula One, and now the road cars, the level they reach, you know, I think we need to feel very proud as racing fans, as drivers, as journalists, you know, to have McLaren here. I think is a very good news for the sport, and this is only thanks to Zach.
Zach, those of us in Indianapolis were aware of the role that you played in making this happen, and I would think that it at least met your expectations and far more.
Yeah, I think if we put aside the last 20 laps, which is obviously a massive disappointment, if we reflect back on the month, I think it was outstanding. Fernando didn't put a wheel wrong, showed what a world-class world champion he is today. Andretti, you know, congratulations to Michael for winning. He did an outstanding job, and as did everyone at McLaren, and just, you know, very disappointed for Fernando and everyone at McLaren to, you know, see him driving down the front straight with smoke coming out of the back of the car. Just stunned, but, you know, this is racing. It's 500 miles. I think we'll look back on the month and feel very happy with what we achieved.
Okay, we'll take a few questions.
Fernando, throughout most of the race, you look very accomplished, very comfortable in battling. The one phase maybe where you seemed to struggle compared to an experienced driver was when Helio went forward at the restart and you had to battle a bit. Did that feel like a difficult phase of the race, or was that just circumstances? And otherwise, were you just very comfortable with the way everything was playing out?
I mean, obviously there were some better moments than others on the race, but I felt competitive all through the race. I think Elio and some of the guys, they've been very lucky with the yellow flags. I think with a, you know, trouble-free race, Brian, Rossi, and myself, we will be half a lap in front of everyone. So that's the nature of this race. You know that you need to be lucky in some moments, but even with some unlucky moments of the yellow flags, we were in the group, in the mix. So no, I mean, I felt okay. Obviously, when you are 8th or 7th, I knew now the last 20 laps were intense, but I was taking care a little bit of the front tires in the first couple of laps of that stint because I knew that the race will be decided on the last 6 or 7 laps. So I think I had a little bit on the pocket before the engine blew up.
My question is for Zach. When you discussed this project with Fernando coming to Indianapolis, what was your realistic expectations? And also looking back to the history, the car, the real McLaren car from your Rutherford is in the museum. When there's ever the possibility, is McLaren maybe considered to build again a real Indy car and come again with a real car, with its own car?
So when Fernando and I first spoke about the Indianapolis 500, I wasn't sure what Fernando's response would be because I think not many race car drivers in this world are brave enough to do what Fernando just did. And not just from a physical standpoint, but, you know, the whole world was watching Fernando race today. So he put himself out there and exposed himself and delivered the goods, which isn't a surprise to anyone that has watched Fernando race. So I was pleased, very pleased, that competing at the Indianapolis 500 was part of his dream. It's been part of McLaren's history and a dream to win Indy 500s in the future. As far as building chassis, we historically have not been a manufacturer of multiple chassis, and obviously the current rules are for a single spec. I believe the new rules will be introduced in 3, 4, 5 years' time, so we'll take a view then, but it's not something that we have historically done in the past.
We've got word that we've got 2 questions. We got 2 questions left.
Fernando, you said you tested yourself and proved yourself. I know you can't make up a decision for the future, but is this a positive experience that leaves you hungry for more to come back again someday?
Definitely yes. Obviously, you know, if I come back here, at least I know how it is, everything, and you know, it will not be the first time I do restarts, pit stops, you know, and all these kind of things. So it will be a easier, let's say, adaptation. So let's see what happens in the following years, and yeah, I need to find, obviously, keep pursuing this challenge because winning the Indy 500 is not completed, but yeah, also new challenge. If I can find a car that slows me down somehow.
Final question.
Fernando, we all watched a pretty dull Grand Prix this morning and another difficult race for McLaren.
Yeah.
I assume you're feeling pretty happy to be here today, not there. How do you pick yourself up and face going back to Formula One now?
Well, I'm never happy when McLaren is not finishing the race. I mean, but it's true, you know, that before coming here, some of the questions were how you can trade Monaco race for Indy 500. You know, this is the best opportunity for the team. This is the best opportunity to score points. You know, I won 2 times there. I won 2 World Championships. So to, you know, drive around Monaco for a 7th place, a 6th place, even a 5th place, I mean, to be here is not possible to compare that thing, you know. And I think for the motorsport in general, you know, the people that watched the race this morning on Monaco and the people watched the race this afternoon here, I think they could not sit down for 3 hours this afternoon. So, you know, I'm not, you know, I didn't miss Monaco in terms of result, you know. So for the future in Canada, obviously we will try to keep improving. I think the car seems to be performing better and better. In Barcelona, we were 7th on qualifying. In Monaco, both cars were on Q3, so I think the second half of the season will be much more competitive and we will enjoy much more.
Thank you very much for coming in, gentlemen.
And last thing, thank you for all the media. I didn't want, but you know, I will drink a little bit of milk. You follow me for 2 weeks every single minute, but I really enjoy, so thanks for the welcoming, and yeah, see you in Austin.